Getting underway, and I'll just go ahead and take this opportunity, since usually these games head off and get so aggressive early on, we end up prolonging introductions. I'm just going to go for it right here. And well, on the side of Invictus Gaming, they're on your dial. We got Luo, who's going to be actually opting on the Bat Rider, going to the off lane along the mid. We got June playing your Slark along the top. We got Chezbug. Is it I always say Chezbug, but is it Cheesebug?
I mean, it's actually like CH is actually the name, but it's been adapted to Cheesebug, so...
Cheddarbug. He's going to be playing your support Silencer. I'll probably screw it up a couple of times. He'll probably be called Silencer more often.
I think the name is supposed to be like CH is Bug, and it got very convoluted, and now everybody just calls him Cheesebug.
Okay, so Cheddar Cheesebug. The Silencer. We got Chuan, who's going to be playing your Rubik, and round things out, Ferrari is going to be playing what looks like the mid lane Spectre, and he's sporting that sweet new set. Looks like a Mechazoid Spectre.
Oh wow, yeah, that is. I have not actually seen that one. That is
brand spanking new.
Yeah, shoulders up. But the roles are, and the players and the hero rosters are really weird for IG here. Like, you expect June to be picking up his Batrider. Luo, who's been running Drow and Necrophos this tournament, is now picking up the Batrider Initiator, and there is no swap. June's going to be playing the core Slark, and Spectre's going to be, of course, your safe lane farmer, at least presumably. Of course, they could do some dual mid stuff, but overall, like, it's gonna be Ferrari mid Spectre. Oh my goodness. Quelling Blade and Magic 6 start. He knows he's gonna be eating a lot of Arc Lightning, so he wants to restore that, and we may be seeing a Rubik ganking relatively early. No smokes up just yet, but I mean, yeah, you called it, but this is just really weird to see Ferrari in this position.
We don't know what happens behind, you know, closed doors, and when these teams kind of go into their huddles, and it's like, I mean, I doubt it's like this, but it could be to the point like, listen, you're done doing that. I'm taking over. You come here. We got to go there. And it's just, you respect what I say. And, you know, things can get a bit dramatic, or maybe it's just, it's time we try something new. Something ain't working, and this is the time. I mean, it's not a great time given how what's at stake, but it looks like IG just continue to try to find what's going to work for them right now, and they have a tall order of a challenge. This is Evil Geniuses, and we didn't really get to talk much about their side, and we do have this pause, so I guess we got the moment. So Sumail, we questioned how much he's actually been maybe scrimming and practicing the Zeus, because as far as public knowledge, he hasn't played the hero a whole lot. Definitely not in comparison to some of his tried and true favorites, whether it's the Shadow Fiend or the Storm Spirit, which I've seen him make serious plays on. But other than that, it seems pretty standard. Universe, we know what he could do on a Faceless Void. PPD plays his very selfless support. And finally, Clinks, though, for Fear. Now, what do you think, Blaze? Clinks, they grabbed it up last. What do you think he contributes to this game that seemed like such a good grab?
Most of the fact that the supports are squishy as can be. Chuan has a base armor of 0, a Cheesebug has a base armor of 1. They have no way of surviving through an Orchid gank without a Ghost Scepter. So that's just... I mean, right now they don't have great control, great ways to respond. If Clinks is on top of you and he unloads with the silence, there's very, very little that you can do, and it just might be food for Fear. So they can kind of, when he's on the gank train, transition one of their other heroes into a more core role, maybe get some more active farm on Owie, get some more active farm on Universe's Void, but end of the day, they get a lot of momentum with this Clinks, and of course he does a lot of damage very quickly. Now, as far as how the lanes are going to play out, I actually think Ferrari's a little bit more confident than one would expect with this matchup against the Zeus. Obviously, I talked about his items to be prepared for it, but I'm also looking at history, and although it's been several months, he actually has played competitively 46 games with Spectre, so it's not one that like stands out as far as something that he plays frequently, but they wouldn't pick it without him being comfortable in it. They knew what they were getting into with the Spectre pick, and I could imagine that if you kind of go for a more active early build, maybe an Urn of Shadows, Drums, Yasha, that kind of stuff, the hero could actually do a lot of damage just with his ultimate alone.
Looks so badass, he better do good. I mean, he can't look that good and underperform, that's for sure, but we'll see. We'll see a couple of players pick up heroes that they might have to shake off the rust for. But since we still have a moment, and if you didn't already see, it looked like PPD or someone didn't update their config file when they transitioned to the computer. So they need to take a moment to load up their proper configurations, because these players, I can tell you, I've seen it firsthand, they have all sorts of little tidbits they need to tweak and change, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And back in my day in Dota, you were just thankful you had a mouse and a keyboard, for God's sake, please. This is absolutely out of control. But let's take a moment to look over the schedule that we got here, because this is only our third wave of matches. We got 9 total right now. You're seeing IG versus EG. Later, we got C-Deck coming with Hellraisers, and I'm going to be joined at that point, I believe, by F4L, and he'll help me all the way through for Tongfu versus Vici, C9 versus Navi, and then Ryuborz is going to come and help me take it home. We have eHome versus Big God, LGD versus Newbie, and to round out the night, Navi versus Hyper Glory Team in a battle of the 2 wild card, I guess, winners. So, cool stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be very interesting, especially like Navi in their current state right now and the group stage in the round robin. They really need those wins. So going up against Cloud9 and HGT, those are going to be hard games for them, and we'll have to see what they bring to it. But for now, I mean, EG, they want to keep the undefeated streak alive. It would mean a lot to them, and IG, they need to get their acting gear. So they're making some changes. They're doing what they can, and they're playing, I think, what they're more comfortable with. Like Chuan, Rubik, that's a staple in my mind. And obviously, the other roles are a little bit to throw off the enemy and a little bit to show what they can really accomplish here. I don't want to overhype because I don't know what's around the river bend here, but I think Ferrari is actually going to be able to perform really well in this mid lane, assuming he gets some good support.
Better respect his mid lane game. This is a bit of old school meets new school, and we get to see the new up-and-coming rising star, the 15-year-old prodigy. I would almost compare it to like the Kobe Bryant of Dota coming in with those flashy stylistic moves and performing very well. Meanwhile, bottom lane already heavy harassment onto Luo. Get the hell out of our lane. Batrider as he tries to cut the creeps and take it back, but we need a remake. Apparently, according to the admin, we're going to have a pause and a remake. All the players, what the hell? What the hell's going on? Are you kidding me? Oh, Jesus. Salt is flying all over the place. We got the captain of the sodium itself, and oh, yeah, I got my popcorn here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get it nice and seasoned. And I don't know what the hell that says. So, you know, obviously we'll just wait it out and see if indeed we will need a remake or not. But we're not there. We're not at the land, so I unfortunately don't have a feed to see what exactly happened.
Well, we'll see which one I can bring info.
Oh.
Yeah, I did see the Spanish caster slot had like 4 or 5 people, and some ghosting could be scary. I mean, I don't know how they would get information to players on land other than some crazy earpiece shenanigans, but
it's not your problem until there's like stuff that's going to be potentially a problem.
You know that as soon as like something comes to light that there was some crap that
they don't care. No? We want a Dota. We've been waiting long enough, so we'll forget about that. Luo, who is still on the chase, they get the Earthshaker. Oh my God, owie! He's going to be getting your first blood. EG, after a bit of an awkward pause moment, are able to secure that one on the Batrider, and well, ladies and gentlemen, Evil Geniuses versus INVICTUS Gaming.
Yep. So there we go. We get the opener here. Zeus is actually going to go for a 101 build. He's going to be maxing Lightning Bolt next, but for now he's getting the most efficient Ferrari base harassment with the usage of that passive on top. So the Ferrari likes to keep his health pool nice and high, and he actually did go for 1 point into dispersion here. So they're going to go back and forth. Ferrari's actually going to be able to get 3 CS here, but under tower it's a little more difficult even with the Quelling Blade. Either way, up top, Universe pretty confident now with the Time Walk. Cheesebug only has the Curse of the Silent, and that's really not going to do anything unless they're already stunning him out. Like, honestly, Curse of the Silent will be probably a waste of mana in most situations against Universe at this level. But he'll throw it out, try to force the Time Walk, and that's not going to happen.
He's expecting he's going to get hit with a lot of curses because he's got freaking 8. He had 8 tangos and 1 Salve. And Stout shit already at the go, so he's already in it to know he's going to get punished quite a bit. But he's confident enough, and he's been around the block. It's not his first Faceless Void off-lane rodeo, so he's just going to be close enough to secure that bit of XP for himself. And yeah, still echoing back the mid lane here. Sumail off to the early head start, 9-1 CS for him, matching up with the old new bearded man Fear here in the bottom lane, representing his Clinks. He's finding his way, and Luo is trying to bounce back from his early first blood.
Yeah. So, just by basic calculations here, I think Cheesebug is going to have to hit him with like 4 Curse of the Silence to negate the potential of the Time Walk the one time he'll need to. So, Universe is feeling pretty good about this. Until Silencer hits level 3, he doesn't really care about the Curse of Silent at all. He will be warded away from the neutral, so he doesn't get that half experience, but overall, not the end of the world for him. So, yeah, in the meantime, Ferrari is going to be bringing out a bottle, so it is going to be a max dagger build here, since you have so much more mana to work with the continuously maxed out magic stick and this freshly picked up bottle. And he can use it to harass, to kill, to farm, whatever he desires here. And he's actually going to be bottle crowing. emptying the entire bottle and sending it back on its way.
Luo tries to come and contest the pull as well, because now he's stunned, and now he has to Firefly out, but top lane at the same moment. Universe is going to get jumped on, and June is going to be able to walk away with a kill on his Slark, and IG get themselves on the board now 1-1.
Yeah, just connecting very nicely with Telekinesis and the Pounce, and Universe is not able to get away even with the help of the Earthshaker here. Interesting that Universe goes for the Orb of Venom here. It's not going to do that much for him, I don't think, but maybe when he transitions in towards level 6, he'll be able to follow through with a little bit more chase potential. In either case, PPD stalking the mid lane, not really going to be able to snipe couriers, so he just wants to snipe Ferrari out of position, but instead gets singled out, does late damage, does hurt quite a bit, but Ferrari's the one that's running scared.
Waits for now. Luo is nearby. It looks like he's forfeited the offlane position for now to start work in the jungle, building up some stacks, and he's burning down some birds. So he's desperate to move forward towards getting that Blink Dagger quota, and Universe comes back from his recent takedown and will just continue to get zoned out from these supports, and profiting from that is June on his Slark, though he's only 10-2, so he's been tussling a little bit with Universe here. His CS is actually not as high as I was expecting.
Yeah, but look at the lane down bottom. Fear has a massive double wave, triple wave even, with the range creeps going, and he has the best Silius available. He can go for Searing Arrow Strafe on the tower and bring it down very, very quickly. So Luo's got to get back to base and TP down bottom pronto in order to soak up that precious experience. But Fear's going to try to push out the wave hard enough that every creep dies before he's actually able to TP. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. And even Aoi with the flank up this path here might actually be able to punish him when he does come down.
He does show up, and now for now at least wait behind Fear. They got this big wave, and they know he's greedy for it, so they move forward. They get that stun off, and there goes the arrows. PPD even flies in like a bat out of hell, and they take down that bat. And Sumail comes in with the big chaos from the Zeus with his ultimate.
And it's completely intentional, by the way. People will laugh at it about it in the chat, but this is not a pub game. They want to give Zeus that experience, and he gets his share by casting that ultimate, as well as doing some decent damage across the board.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, of course. Sumail benefits the most out of that one. Now his Zeus looks even more potent mid lane, and there comes
Venom?
Universe. Ferrari now desperate, throws out the dagger to get away from this, but there's the zap down, the young gun. 15-year-old Sumail now off to a 2-0 start for himself, and that is a 3-1 lead for EG.
Yeah, it's great rotations for PPD, I gotta say. Like, he's been top lane, bottom lane, mid lane. He's picked up a couple of runes here and there, and every Fisher has counted. I mean, obviously the top lane one didn't save Universe's life, but it's the thought that counted, and that circumstance, and the others have set up kill after kill. I mean, they are leading 3-1 entirely based on the Earthshaker's movements, and I definitely think that's going to be IG's being caught off guard. They did not expect this to begin this way. But another thing to note is the Cheesebug skill build here. He's actually going 2-1-0, so that means he can harass a little bit better with a manual orb usage of Glaze of Wisdom, but otherwise he's really missing out on that precious last word utility. Though of course he'll level up in a moment, and that will be nullified, but it still will be a level 1 spell.
Yeah, I've always recognized that you just get the 1 value point, so you can just zone back that much more, but I would imagine eventually, if not the next level, we'll consider putting it in. Probably maybe 3 levels into Curse first and foremost, but it is a valued spell. He does have it. But we'll see now as pressure back towards mid lane here. Sumail will easily drop down to regen up as much as possible to profit from that bottle. Here we go. It looks like they're planning a move towards this mid lane. You got Fear, Skeleton Walk to stock, and IG are already clustered in nearby.
Yeah, he ate a troll, the highest HP creep in the game, and he does so much right-click damage. Look how fast Luo drops his 2 quick hits, and Luo loses a huge chunk of HP. That troll, Dark Troll Summoner that he consumed is just immense as far as the value. The HP buffer that he gets, the damage that he gets, and now he just gets a stock in, drop a ward, and he will be eating up the Centaur as well, just taking away from the Batraider's jungle.
Very aggressive ward was put down there from Fear as well, so they got that sweet extra bit of intel. While they know at some point Luo will still have to eventually farm out that jungle to get the Blink Dagger, or anyone will have to look for some stacks, and Fear will be creeping nearby, I'm sure, to go ready for an early pick. Curious what he's going to go for as far as item build.
Down bottom, they will get the dagger onto Aoi 2000, and a Napalm will connect as well. This is going to be very difficult to get away from. Has a nice Earth Spike set up, but the turn rate's too slow. Magic Stick and a turn attempt, but there's the Telekinesis. Hits on 2 anyways, and Ferrari might actually die for it. Yes! The Thunder God's Wrath makes it a return kill, and Silencer drops down on the top lane.
Yep. June is forced to pounce on it away, and Evil Geniuses get the best of this tussle. 2-for-1 trade for them. Owie with the good know-how not to just immediately go for a turnaround stun, knowing that he would have been locked in place. But instead, it's almost given to him with the telekinesis back. He just stuns right on forward.
Exactly.
Gets a nice twofer, and under the tower, the aggro just conveniently worked out to nab on that Spectre, and Sumail pops in once again with that ultimate and secures the kill. And I guess all the meanwhile, Universe finds his own kill up top lane. So Evil Geniuses, everything just continues to do well. Very good for him.
Yeah, it really is that killer instinct that you have the intention, you have spells available, you want to use them, but the turn rate slow would have made that just a complete failure. Luckily, Chuan made a bit of a misstep with that TK, and he was able to get the damage that they needed. So EG pulling ahead across the board, and Fear's going to start to get aggressive pretty soon, I think. He's going to go ahead and eat up this Satyr as soon as he finishes off the smaller one, and there you go. He is looking to gank once again. The Smoke of Deceit comes out, and it could be another death on the Spectre.
Let's see. We're en route, the Bash brothers, if you will. Fear and PPD. Oh, they're moving on through the back end of Ferrari as he heads towards the top side by side with Luo. But Luo's actually stopping off for some farm. We're going to see him momentarily and make a go.
Yeah, so this is a good move. Scouting with the Skeleton Walk so that even though the smoke dispels, you know your target, you can get the Fisher, and you can get the kill.
No chance. Quick and easy kill. IG are nowhere near, and they lose their Bat Rider, and Luo loses out on more gold. He is going to be waiting quite a while to get that Blink Dagger, and now June is here across paths, and he just pops out quickly the Skeleton Walk, and he'll be fine.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Aoi gets to play the true 4 position by farming the bottom lane while this comes to the way, as I was talking about earlier. And actually, Sumail's about to pick up a Hand of Midas. Like, that's huge. Being able to get 2 kills, 2 assists, and 63 last hits, he's going to build up so much experience that this level 16 is going to come out at near record time.
He just got to get a Midas. He played Brew early, or Brood. I keep going to say Brood and Brew. Brewmaster. He played Brewmaster earlier with the Midas as well. This kid just... RDZ, like reincarnated almost. I mean, I know he's going to be able to make a name for himself, and he certainly is with his performance so far at DAC, but, you know, it's those old habits, I suppose. He'll get that extra accelerated farm, and with the way the game is already beginning to blossom, I think it's an excellent grab. I mean, they're going to be able to find so much extra bit of farm, and the XP is going to allow them to potentially snowball.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate they can't go on Universe here. Like, there's the possibility for them to get really close for the Telekinesis Lasso, but in the end, they probably come up like 100, 200 units short, and they would just time walk away, and they just can't afford that right now. So they go ahead and just make their move somewhere else, but the Observer Ward spots them. The rotations are quite clear, so there's really nothing better for them to do than for Luo just to keep farming the jungle, and that risks being picked off by the Fear again, since he's off the map.
So right now, your Silencer kind of suffers the most.
So they saw the rune be picked up, though. They're pinging out. They saw the bounty rune picked up, and they have Sentry Observer Vision on Fear.
Mistake. So now they are trying to
Sumail?
get away, but
Easy.
Sumail just easily runs them down. They take apart one. They could get another.
Oh, wow!
Sumail in the
What a lightning bolt!
drops down the lightning bolt right on the head of Ferrari, and he is just absolutely on a tear. Now June could be in trouble. Able to bounce away from this one. EG, sure enough, in control. They didn't even have to commit a Chronosphere or anything for that. Universe has been farming in the lane, and now they add pressure towards the tier 1.
That lightning bolt was really good. Completely blind. The clear vision from the Thunder God's Wrath have faded at that point, and that's why Fear couldn't get another auto attack off. But yeah, it just zaps the bug there and gains so much momentum. He just got his Hand of Midas and Arcane Boots, and now he has 1,000 gold. Like, this guy's gonna have so much farm. Probably a Blink Dagger would be next, just for a little bit of extra mobility. But speaking of blinks, geez, the Bat Rider picks his up at the same time as Aoi 2000, the support Lion.
That was some committed farm that Bat desperately needed, because the last time I checked him out, he had just got picked off from Fear, and he was still, what, like 1250 away from being able to get it. So somehow, some way, he found some quick farming. That's good, because they definitely need to play this catch-up game. Getting a pick-off with this Blink Dagger is very crucial, even as the smoke at the ready, just to hope that they can definitely get the opportunity. Now, who is your
Oh, interesting. That actually was the play. Going on Rubik, no points in the null field yet as he's only level 5. He needs a quick, easy Earth Spike Finger of Death. You do the math, you do run the numbers, and that's a kill. And they actually have vision on Ferrari too, going in for the Hex.
That was a pretty smart feller. But there's the jump in, there's going to be the blinks. They even have the global just to ensure, hopefully, a takedown, but that's just for the support. 2 ultimates.
Yeah, and top lane, it's going to be a Courier Snipe.
Did Fear get that one?
Yeah, Fear was able to pick it up with a haste rune and a few searing arrows, and yeah, that's a nice little pick off for them. Nothing really valuable had already made his delivery, but it's another point of frustration for IG.
Oh boy, that aggressive ward certainly has been putting a lot of impact there for EG. And
I mean, look at the sentry wards in the Dire jungle, placed by IG. They're like, where the heck is their vision coming from? Where is this Clinkz approaching from? They need this intel, but it's EG that know everything.
With that knowledge, they have been certainly taking advantage of it. And man, I was like getting ready to go on about how Luo needs to really perform with his Blink Dagger. Next thing you know, Howie with his own, just to kind of match up. I got a Blink Dagger at the same time as you, Bat Rider, and he gets his own quick objective. So now, Universe mid lane could be in potential trouble, but he has a lot of help behind him, and they don't know.
One Fisher. Oh! And the first turn of the game will come out for just a zone, just to force them back out, and they will walk away.
There really was nothing they could do. The lasso was still down, and even if they wanted to jump in, there's no global. That's the problem. You got some big ultimates. Then when they go down, the other team certainly knows that as well, and they take advantage. Universe does commit the chrono, but like you said, it helps zone them back and secure a prize grab on your Slark, and EG just playing a very nice and uniform game with the advantage they already got.
Yeah, they're controlling runes really well too. They're actually getting almost all of them. A lot of bounty runes going their way. Now the second Hand of Midas coming out for EG. Like, they are guaranteeing them into the late game, despite the fact that they're up against three really amazing late game heroes. The Bat Rider, the Slark, and the Spectre are incredible at late game stages, but at this point they can't farm quickly enough.
Fear gets extra farm, pulls out the pact, and we'll see if he looks to go on the hunt here. Is there a smoke? Nope, not on PPD, but they weigh in about the mid lane, and we're seeing a lot of IG just kind of sit around this mid lane. Are they smoking? What is it? There it is. Okay, so now they're going to look to go the EG territory here, but they're already busy and spread elsewhere. See one rotation coming from Sumail towards the mid lane, and now they look to turn. Oh, they're going to catch him. There's the jumping from Luo, and they're going to pull and kidnap him right into the open arms of the rest of Invictus Gaming. They do take
pretty solid skill too.
Really.
Yeah, Chuan is also able to pick up the lightning bolt, so he can make a lot of use of that. He actually, I think, has about as much mana to work with. Maybe less because of the magic wand bottle, but generally speaking, he's going to be able to spam that just as readily, and they could turn the fight. I mean, that's a big deal. I liked how also the Spectre used her haunt to stop Lion from blinking in, just to make sure that was a clean kill.
With that, it could be one step in the direction for IG to kind of come back, because mid-game's getting ready to come on out. Universe is going to have 10 more seconds before his chrono's at the ready. We'll see if IG continue to advance on the advantage they already have. Fear, though, he got his Midas as well, so he's just taking the extra bit of time to farm. Is an Orchid something of value for your Clinkz in this kind of a game, or do you look to go elsewhere? It doesn't. I mean, if you want to get the pickoffs, but I think IG would recognize they're not going to have the supports, you know, in a position where they can be easily taken advantage of.
I think the utility of the Orchid would still be pretty valuable, but the aspect that, like, you see the CIS Clinkz rushing it out and just getting kill after kill with it might not be as prevalent here, because IG are already running scared. They're hiding under their towers, they're grouping up together as 3 or 4. That's what Clinkz wants with the Orchid, and Fear's been able to accomplish it without it, thanks to some really good movement from PPD and some great nuke damage from Sumail. So, overall, they have the psychological advantage that an Orchid would provide, and that aspect would be redundant. But still, it is some great silence, stopping the Slark from slipping away, maybe stopping the Spectre from trying to go for a jump, and things of that nature.
If you're kind of eyeballing this top lane, you can already see by the body language of June that he's very hesitant to even find that bit of farm in the top lane. Yeah, all the meanwhile, you see EG here, smoked up. You have Universe out in front right here. He's got the chrono at the ready. He's waiting for something to bite onto. And right now, Ferrari's looking pretty appetizing. There's the jump in the bubble, and with the finger, it doesn't take much else. And even though the initial plan with the silencer is to hit down the R button the second the bubble comes in, it just shows that when you're that coordinated, the job's already been done. Global is now going to be down, and EG get a sweet takedown of the Spectre.
It's also IG misreading the Evil Genius movements a little bit here. I mean, they had a smoke of their own, 3-man. They were looking to find Fear. Bat Rider is always on the front line with the smoke, because what he would do as soon as it dispels is blink forward and dust, and that would catch the Clinkz out. But unfortunately, they went for that play right when Ferrari was at his most vulnerable, and with this Observer ward right in the mid lane, they haven't been able to de-ward. it's just been some easy pickings. A lot of deaths on the Spectre early on. 4 deaths in not even 18 minutes. It's been brutal losses for them, and they don't seem to have a good grasp on when EG are going for the attack.
I want to say it's almost safe to say that this is one of those kind of teams is when you have a bit of a slow start, the ability to shake it off and try to come back for whatever plan B could be is a bit more fickle. This team already has their own bit of internal, confrontations. So we'll see though as they try to bounce back here. EG continue to look dominant through what has already been an excellent start in their DAC run, being undefeated at 4-0. They have really strung together a nice new roster, and people question whether this new young up-and-comer Sumail could perform, and I can tell you now that I finally get to see him firsthand, he is doing a damn good job. 4-1, and he's building towards an Agnum Scepter. IG better pray to God they got a way to somehow bring in together some magic resistance. They do benefit a bit, of course, from Chuan's Null, but he hasn't even leveled it up yet, so you're looking at a pretty flimsy to magic burst. Uh-oh, they do get hold of DPD here, gets the stun off. Ferrari's going to kind of reality puts himself forward, does get the pick right there, and that's all EG are going to get him, or hand over. So they immediately pull on back, and IG take a small support grab, 11-5.
It's unfortunate they couldn't get Fear. If the Fear was involved in that exchange, it would have been immense. And they do drop down the Central Ward, but just not at the right time, not at the right place. Fear keeps his distance, and he walks out alive. They do get a couple of great Observer Wards placed out. Not the same one on the plateau you were talking about earlier, but still one in a very aggressive position. Costs Earthshaker his life, but Thunder God's Wrath just to scout things out.
They are pressuring this mid lane. They get this tier 1, then they control a bit more, and maybe could consider potential Roche in the near future. That way, after also removing this bottom tier 1, there is easy access for IG to kind of make their move in. We'll see if that's going to be the game plan here for EG as they clear out some remaining farm. And on the other side, IG, what is going to be the comeback kind of a play? They got one little takedown there on PPD, but they will certainly need a lot more than that.
Honestly, just get back map control. Pick up the Geometry site on your tankiest hero and make sure that he survives. Get back to your jungle and start farming. Like, that's the only way you get back in this game, is getting a ton of items from both Spectre and Slark.
Looking at Spectre, for now has the reliable Vice booster. We'll see if he has to go straight for a Vanguard at some point. But that is going to be putting away from any sort of reliable damage. June also going to have to go down the road of getting maybe some support for himself. He's got the Ogre Club and what I imagine going to be the early makings of the BKB, because this Zeus, this Fissure Club, Stun, Lion, they need something to stop all that heavy lockdown and burst. And I don't know, it's just looking like quite a while before IG are going to be able to go really offensive in any sort of team fight.
Definitely. Yeah, they're very dependent on smokes to make plays happen. I mean, even the Earthshaker kill might not have happened if not for everybody having the smoke to seed. But they do have one more in bank, or in their shop available to purchase. And it's actually Fear walking right up to June. With an Orchid, this would be a kill, but that's not something that he should attempt.
And yeah, did you see Fear is going for the Desolator?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so, obviously, thank you very much, Ice Rock, for your recent changes. He'll be able to benefit from both the Searing Arrows and the Desolator minus armor effect. So, yeah, you can even throw in a Diffusal in the mix if you want to at this point, but for now, he's confident in being able to get the extra siege power. It certainly will help with the Roche that I'm sure they're going to be doing at any given moment now that he has completed it. And overall, just the impact of the right click. And we already acknowledged at the beginning of the game how these supports have no armor as is. So if he ever gets the opportunity to just nab one of them, it's not going to take a whole lot of effort.
Yeah. Haven't really seen any big spell steals this game. I guess Chuan could also step up his game a little bit here. If he was able to steal more than just the casual lightning bolt, I think a lot could go their way. Picking up the skeleton walk or the time walk, either one would get him mobility to move more freely, and that would get him in a better position to break down initiation. Luo looking to jump down bottom, but Fear falling back.
Luo circling from behind the tower here, and EG pull back. They see little glimmers and glimpses of this flying bat, and they're looking to play it a little bit extra safe. So now they move up and above, and it looks like both teams will kind of pull back. I think we found the individual who might be a stowaway in this game, but as it is for now, I don't know what that says, but they can't even secure this bottom tier 1 tower. EG are even able to impose the will as a strong defense, but here's June on the prowl, crosses past the TPD, but
this could be a nice pickup on Sumail.
this is a good
Squishy,
target.
squishy, Zeus.
Boom, advance. There's the Palace. Looks to turn back. The Global's there, and they do take him down. A good grab for Ferrari, but that's going to be an immediate buyback. And what maybe I thought could be an opportunity for maybe a Roche contention. Now, you see Universe is able to catch out June under the Chronosphere. Be able to get that vision. The first
Chrono stolen!
The finger! And a stolen
Oh, the Chronosphere from Twan!
He's going to get lifted up. Ferrari cleans house and gets a double kill. IG are turning it the other way, but here comes Sumail back from the dead, and they can't catch up.
Oh, they still can't prevent the Roche, but that's actually a decent win for IG. Forcing the Sumail buyback, at least delaying the Roche a little bit there, getting this Chrono Steal, which they can use once more, and bringing down the Faceless Void just once. It's not ideal that they didn't get out unscathed, because the Roche did fall and so did the Slark, and therefore they're in a worse position in this game, but it's still the best exchange they can hope for. And yeah, that's going to be hopefully not the end of their initiations. They really want to put forward fighting on their terms, and with the Chronosphere maybe that's more possible.
It does give them a little bit more life, fresh breath of air, but this is what, step one of a 4-step program to try to come back into the game. So with that, it does put them in the right direction, but they're going to need to follow through. There's still plenty of towers on the map. You still got every tower on the map, to be frank. EG haven't lost the structure, so there's gold out there to claim. It's a matter of being able to find the opportunity to make a push happen when you know you can take a team fight. Unfortunately, at this moment, it feels like they have to get a couple of picks first, but Fear's the guy looking for picks. Oh, June does blink away. That could have been a sweet, delicious treat if he wasn't careful.
Luckily, they do have a couple blinks up for themselves now, and that's one thing Clinks has a real issue with, is actually dealing with blink daggers. His projectile takes a while to get to its target, plenty of time to respond with blink, unless he's like literally in melee range of you when he starts auto-attacking. So it's going to be the Slark to dodge that one out. And the Geometry Sight to come out from the Lion here. Just 4 wards, no invis that you really have to worry about on the side of IG.
So now EG congregate themselves towards the bottom here. They're going to farm up a bit, and I was looking to see if they have any sort of smoke at the ready, but they're going to hold it for now. And Fear's still holding that Aegis, so it's their pace. If they want to start breaching and going for the remainder of the tier 2s. And at that point, I think they should be pretty comfortable with going for a fight. Universe will have Chrono ready, and his right click is coming together pretty nicely here. The global silence, though, could be a bit finicky if they can't go for those quick burst pickoff plays. When it goes to an actual team fight, they need to really consider when the right time to make a jump is. And hopefully that silencer, I guess in the best case scenario for EG, is going to be trapped under that said Chronosphere. But I feel it could prove to be a bit trouble for him, Blaze.
Yeah, we're going to see the smoke come through here. Now, I want to, real quick before anything happens, talk about Ferrari's item progression. He went for the Phase Boost bottle early. The Quelling Blade is what he started with, and since then has picked up an Urn of Shadows and a Vit booster, but he had 4,000 gold. He went with the Sacred Relic to transition into Radiance. Obviously a core item, generally speaking, on Spectre. Do you think it's going to put them back in this game?
I don't know. It's this point, he's invested so much time that I don't know if the payoff could be worth it. They've already made their move and taken out Luo just like that. And it's already IG are going to be on the back foot without a buyback from him. That was the guy they needed to initiate. The only that's going to get in there, get the choke and the lockdown, and then hopefully you have Ferrari be able to follow on through. But
Dyer's top tower
at this point, as they begin to lose a lot more structures, I don't know. Do you? I'm just as perplexed. For IG, I'm sure.
I mean, there's not really many alternatives, right? Like, you maybe could go Manta style or something like that, but that's not really the issue either. It's really just the sheer amount of damage coming out from EG. They drafted a very offensive draft. I mean, every one of these heroes can do crazy amounts of burst damage. So I guess the Void a little understated. He was their offlaner after all, but everybody else is just like, okay, well, a Finger of Death here, an Echo Slam there, Zeus. Do I even need to talk about what he's about to unload with this Aghanim Scepter plus level 16? He's going to have this before 30 minutes.
So with that, EG begin to tighten their noose onto INVICTUS Gaming, and I guess the one perk for the Radiants is the blink potential is not going to be as potent. In being able to scout out their positioning, it then comes down to having the quick wit reaction to capitalize with that bit of knowledge. But here they go, they smoke up, they're going to head towards the bottom here to see if maybe they can get something going their way. But it's going to be difficult. Owie on this line nearby with Blink at the ready. Universe is the one who could potentially pop the smoke, but he does have his Chrono. And And even if they make the jump onto either of the two, I don't think it's going to be a very significant lasso. So IG are going to have to wait out this smoke. I don't think they're going to get the opportunity to find the pick they want.
And Fear, I mean, he still has that Aegis, so he can start going into his jungle and routing them out. He's got the Geometry Sight. He has had a haste turn earlier, but now he's just making his move back to reclaim what was once there. Still, again, doesn't have a way to cancel Blink Dagger, so Luo should be able to disengage, but you never know. The Thunder God's Wrath changes that quite a bit now, doesn't it?
Owie and catches up. Get that finger out there, boy. Oh.
Nope.
I think he didn't want to be too greedy for it.
I think Vision. I think he was just on the lip of the Fog of War at nighttime here, and
oh man,
yeah. I think he could, like, he had Vision to begin casting it, and then it would have been fogged.
Very close call there for Luo, but he is able to get away. What started as an Invictus Gaming attempt at a smoke, now they're the ones that have to kind of hightail it on out of there. Just kind of shows how the game's been developing so far. 13-7. EG still hold a nice commanding lead at about 28 minutes in, about 12k gold lead. And there's a precious DD rune waiting at the bottom for him. Aegis, has it already expired? Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah,
he's
it just did.
Nursing it for quite a while, so they're not going to get to put it to strong use. IG will probably recognize that now, but there's the BKB now coming out for Fear to fill that spot.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I would say is this Zeus just hit level 16. Sumail pops one more usage of the Midas, and that final transmutation, sorry, is going to bring us to level 16. So he is going to be putting out 640 damage to everybody on the side of IG, and considering like the Silencer only has 770 HP, that's a pretty hefty sum of HP loss.
Radiant's top tower is under
Ferrari
attack.
does now finish out that Radiance, and he will be able to pick it up for the first time. Not the best timing for your Spectre Radiance, given the situation
Radiant's
that IG have been put through this game.
Attack.
So this is them on the recovery path to try to build up into a big comeback kind of a play. And mind you, there is a rubber band factor, so with every little bit they get, they could benefit a lot. Now another BK though, or BKB rather, going to be put together on Universe in this Faceless Void. Just whenever I feel like IG gets something to kind of help them out, EG get two things. It's just they're always one step ahead on being able to throw something together.
Yeah, and these BKBs are nullifying a lot of what the Silencer brings, because they can just BKB after the global is used and cast freely. They're just not going to be taking too much damage from the Radiance either. They don't have to go for like a Pipe of Insight, maybe a mech, but Lion at this point is probably looking more towards a BKB of his own. I doubt it's the Aghanims against the Silencer.
So for now, EG moving up towards the top-hand side. They have a couple more tier 2 structures to break through. They want to go for it here. In the meanwhile, while they stall for possibly the secondary Roche. And just very calm, patient play. They're going to pull out the smoke here. IG are close.
It's actually just a free tier 2 mid. Fear does so much damage so quickly with this strafe, and they have no fortification. They actually cannot respond to that. That's pretty ridiculous.
Quick and easy grab for them. And uh-oh, Luo could be in trouble. Oh, they scout him out. The bat gets roasted and toasted. And now, Silencer able to make it away there. But that is a one-man takedown. The global also going to be used. Everyone
considering it.
Narrowly escapes.
Jeez,
that would have been very unfortunate to lose the Spectre there. He needs to keep farming. Ferrari in the top lane. He does have the potential to carry this game, but it's going to take another 10 to 15 minutes at least. You're fighting up against the Midas momentum and, of course, nearly 14,000 gold disadvantage. You have a long way to go, but in all technicality, Spectre is the hardest scaling hero in the game right now, and hitting level 25, getting a couple more luxury items, and they could be back in the game. It's just gonna take really good execution of the next Roche fight to buy them that time.
Yeah, that's where I feel like we could potentially see the fireworks. I mean, option A is you go for the big contention and you hope that that's the turnaround point, but with that kind of a gamble, if you lose that fight, things could go disastrous and you could quickly be down a set of racks. We've already seen what Fear can do when he gets his hands on these structures, so it's very risky kind of a play. Or you do plan B and you just let EG get the Aegis and you hope for a better attempt at a high ground defense. Here we go. Ferrari's actually going to pull out the ultimate. You know, talking about maybe a bit of extra vision, but there Luo gets the grab onto Owie. Ferrari gets the kill on the other side, but Luo gets trapped under the Chronosphere, and now he'll get dropped. Here goes Universe, pops the BKB, one goes to toe-to-toe.
Those bastards.
With Ferrari, the bashes are there, and he looks to get one on Silencer, needs another one. Boom, got him right there. Universe takes a double kill, they make it a 3-3, but June comes on through, gets the Dark Packet kill return onto Universe, and now Fear turns back on him with BKB popped. Lots of damage, but June's able to pounce away. IG, they end up breaking even, which works out all right for them. They might get some damage.
I mean, look at
here,
the fight recap real quick. This is very telling of how the game progresses. If they make just even exchanges on a couple of core heroes here, they are able to pull in so much in golden experience. They forced out one less BKB charge because they don't have extra BKB charges, and they get a lot of value for the Slark and the Spectre. I mean, the Slark just jumped up 2,000 gold. Like, that's huge.
What was a 4-step program is now 1 step closer. So, hey, they like this a lot. They're in good form to now put up a much stronger contention for the Roche. I mean, at least for now, you still got 20 seconds without your Zeus ready. If he does come back, he will have the ultimate, so don't know if the jig's going to be up or not, but here goes IG. They smoke up back and behind. Are they going to look to go straight for the other side? They are. They're going to see if they can get a grab onto EG. They get this. They fall back. They get the Roche, and this game becomes a lot more
PPD.
closer. The jump, they find PPD. They pull him right back, and they'll get the quick kill on him. PPD's out. 45 seconds. No buy back. IG will just simply TP away with their winnings. Fear, though, he's stalking. Silencer.
Yeah, he wants something, but this would be a bit mistake, I think. If they try to jump in on this without the Earthshaker, they could go poorly. Still could work out for them. They have so much damage, they can just kill 2 or 3 people, but it's got to be quick.
Oh! Wow. So much burst. Universe instantly hops in, does get the corner to catch out June, but he's still covered under the darkness. There he is. Now they get out. The Night Basket be right there trying to attack it off. The Sheep does come through. Wow, he helps secure that one, and they get a 2-man takedown. Fairly nicely done. The insta-burst Silencer was just a non-factor, and then Universe easily sets up the grab on the Slark.
Yeah, just saying, don't underestimate the wrath of the Thunder God. At this point, 640 damage is at 80% of the Silencer's life, and quick hits, quick nukes, dead people, and easy rush. So it's going to be an Aegis going the way of Sumail, actually, and that means he's going to have a full mana and HP bar to work with in the next big fight, and I do think they want to try to end the game with this one, just to make sure the Spectre doesn't get out of hand.
So EG built up extra bit of momentum for themselves at what looked like an opportune moment for IG to start to make the comeback. They get that nice takedown on Slark, who recently received a nice surplus of gold. Now it's puts them off. So we'll see from here what EG's next plan is going to be. They wait it out. It's their tempo to take. Once again, it's rinse and repeat from before. This time, though, they don't have to take tier 2s. They go for the high ground. They have the Aegis, so it's their go on when they want to kind of decide when the right time is to push. If they want to wait and itemize, well, now Fear is able to put together his sheep stick. So
yeah.
Very good.
So he's had a lot of mana issues this game, not really running the Soul Ring, just the bottle, and this Scythe will make it so he can just cast spells all game long. And it gets pretty scary now, because you get singled out, you don't have a response. Even if you bought things like Ghost Scepters, Blink Daggers, you could try to force somebody out maybe, but the Batrider is the only one that can accomplish that. So yeah, all in all, this Hex should be a lot of guaranteed kills, and one pickoff could actually be the entire game as they look to bring down the Rex pretty quickly.
All right, look at that. Universe putting a lot of value behind the Chronosphere is put together. 3 of the 4 components towards an Agnes Scepter. Actually, after the stack, he could have it. So that bubble will be a lot more potent. He's definitely got the job done time and time again. You saw there on the back end where he's able to take down the Slark with it. We'll see how much it's really going to be able to add on top of this. For IG, looks like they're on the move towards the bottom. June has got his 1 ultimate orb, but for now just holding the gem. It's, well, I imagine the early makings of a desperate Scotty at this point. It's going to take quite a bit of extra time. It's slow play from EG, but when there's so much money on the line and you want to hold a top-seeded spot, I mean, you go right towards the winner's bracket of the next stage, you have already guaranteed yourself a big lump sum of money.
Yeah. I don't see them getting themselves in a better position, though. They need just to go for a pick and push, find one hero to kill, and then go in for the high ground. And Ferrari might just be that hero, although he seems to be farming safely with the Manta, the dagger. If they can just like smoke past that, they can go for the kill. But for now, it looks like they're just foregoing subtlety and going right in for the brute force attempt. And in the meantime, nice wards coming out from Invictus Gaming. They are able to place one in the enemy jungle, and they will know a little bit more about what's happening outside the Roche pit 7 minutes from now.
EG move forward. Fear almost gets the scout. And they might know that they're being stalked at this moment. They better find a spot. Oh, they are not behind for long. If Sumail shows them where they're at, Fear gets the quick kill, taking out the support, and poor little Silencer. He is stuck without the express ticket home. It being on cooldown, he's going to be the second hit down. You wanted to pick, well, they got two. Now, all the momentum they want if they want to make a push towards the base. Neither Batrider or Silencer have a buyback.
But in mid top lane, the cores are cutting the creep waves. They are bringing down the waves, so there's going to be backdoor protection for quite some time, and those heroes aren't actually beyond level 13, so they are going to respawn quickly enough. But Universe has his eye on a Slark. He was dewarding with a gem, but they won't be able to punish him for it. Oh, he PPD though! Jeez. Going for some manly plays.
Yeah, he wants to try to make a move forward onto Chuan, but Chuan's a little too far now. Fear falls through, gets the sheep onto June, and now you're going to see Stray stolen there from Chuan.
Not really good steals coming out from the Rubik. Maybe not, he doesn't really get his pick of the litter here because he dies in like 3 hits. But I've seen Enchant Totem, which is near worthless, the Strafe.
But let's talk a moment about the Rubik itself. I was figuring that with his grab, it's like, okay, you got early ganking potential, and, well, of course, the passive is going to help when you're going against the Zeus, but he didn't really go right into the no field whatsoever, and he still only has 1 point into it right now. Obviously, he's already starved for XP, but to be honest, I really haven't felt the value of this Rubik this game.
Sure. What was on the draft field when Rubik was picked up was the Earthshaker, the Lion, and the Void. If you just look at those 3 heroes, they're great to steal from. There's a lot of stuff that you can get out of them, but he hasn't stolen from those heroes except for the Enchant Totem, which, again, not really relevant. He's stolen from Clinks because literally that's the only person who showed his face other than when Rubik just dies. Just straight up dies in 2 hits. He has stolen Chronosphere once, he has stolen Lightning Bolt once, and that's the kind of spells he wants, but he just doesn't get those opportunities. Now the Windjagger might open that up, though.
Give credit then to EG on being able to hide and reserve those spells, or is it just the fact that you know, poor Chuan can't really get close enough to these kind of engagements, or when he does take them, it's obviously like he's already on the back end of a bad fight, can't really utilize them.
I'd say it's more circumstantial. The fact that fights end in 3 seconds definitely hurts them.
They do get the jump onto Alley. Does get the steal Deer Spike and does get to put it to use. So there's a nice little takedown of your support, but there goes the global. Ferrari was on the hunt right there, and Fear looking to turn back. Here comes Universe, jumps in, gets a nice both of them, and now he starts to bring them both apart. 2-man drop, making it a 3-for-1 trade, and poor little Silencer desperate with his Ghost Scepter. It's just more as come along with you, buddy, and eventually I'm going to bat you on the back of the head, and now it dramatically turns the other way. A 4-for-1 trade at what started as a pickoff on Owie.
Yeah. Staying in this game is important for Invictus Gaming to have any chance of really feeling good about their group stage standings. However, it's got to be crippling for their morale. Just the longer this game drags on, the more they're like, yeah, we kind of get it. EG are destroying us right now. And they kind of feel like a lot of aspects of this game are foregone conclusion. They're still giving it their all, but it's really hard to keep your spirits high in straits like this. I mean, EG are just doing so much damage, and that Chronosphere is really good. Actually, Fear, with the increased attack range that Clinks has, 630 now, he's actually able to participate in that Chrono just by being on the other side. And June, like, look at that! Look at him
flinch. He's like, what
June
was that?
just blinks in, pounces, and then immediately Dark Packs and walks away. Like, I don't even know if it's serious anymore.
Please don't. Well, too bad. Fear's in town, and he is taking names. They get the nice quick takedown there of Luo, and quickly your Rax is obliterated. And IG now at a big deficit. EG in total control at this point. They don't even need the Aegis. They are going to be happy to just kind of continue to contest, and for Invictus Gaming, it's a bit heartbreaking if you're an IG fan. But EG, the boys in blue, continue to look very dominant here at the GIC, and it's a matter of putting the lid on this matchup.
So, Sumail Zeus are certainly causing a commotion. A lot of good performance here. They're obviously as a team calling when the ulti should come out, but even still, really good usage. And the fact that they get to also pick up the offlane Void and go for this BKB Axe Refresher build, although it's still crazy mana intensive, with the Intred, with the Aghanim Scepter, he should just barely have enough mana to work with since he has Arcane Boots on his team. Anyways, this is going to be the second lane of Rax going, and IG's last end.
The jump in, global is going to be triggered, but EG just immediately pulled back, but then they actually jump in with BKB's pop. They don't care about those balance. Universe gives up a pretty platter of a Chronosphere, and there's the cherry on top with the finger. They blast down 3, buyback has to come out, but that's more than enough. triple kill beyond godlike streak coming out for Fear. Universe now. Boom, bang. June, you gotta get out of here. He has to bounce to the high ground to get away, and Fear. Oh, he will live on. Ferrari with his buyback here. Could go down with a dieback. The backboard happening here. Universe gets it done. Then they go to June and they finish it there. Oh, dominance coming out from EG. They lose no one. And they get 5. Actually, they lose 2. That's a buyback. My bad. But still, domination from EG.
Oh, Echo Slam coming through, just clearing out the creep wave, bringing down June, and there's the GG finally called. They stuck it out as long as they could, but they know this game is in the bag for Evil Geniuses, and their undefeated streak continues.
Ridiculous. I mean, no question that they are well deserved of their now new 5-0, top of the chart round robin standing. And for IG, with this loss, they get bumped down now to a 2-3 record. I don't really know what else to